Hi, Awuga Tribe. My name is Kelly, and I'm going to tell you my story. This is definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone. It's been about 3.5 years since I've told my story, and that was only to a small group of people. And right now, I'm opening myself up to the world, which is terrifying. I want to start out with something that I wrote, which will probably give you a little bit of an idea where I'm at or where I was. Some could probably relate without any explanations, and some of you may not. Many years ago, I used to do a lot of writing because I was afraid to share anything that was going on to me, around me, because of me. So here it goes. And then I'll continue on with part of my journey. So I wrote this back in March 2021. So things are still pretty real and raw for me at times. I sit here and wonder why I am the way I am. I carry so much weight on my shoulders, fearful of everything and everyone. For some reason, I cannot let it all go. It goes beyond skin deep or the smile I put on my face, the laughter you hear within the silent screams deep within. Success and failure both come with a price. Will I ever learn to win? Erase the doubt I hold in my mind. You touch me and my heart skips a beat. You touch me and the tears come down my face. Why do you see me the way you do? You have taught me so much, but you have also caused so much pain. The life I dreamed of, you have taken from me. Sometimes I wish that I can erase history, but I would remove me. For I am what you and you have created me to be. You look at me laughing, thinking I have no clue. I may live in darkness and very silent sometimes, but that does not mean that I do not see clearly what is around me. A to D has taken me, but I do not wish for the end. Why the lens cannot capture the beauty within, or a filter to hide the canvas of imperfection. When I speak, nobody cares. When I cry, nobody cares. I am worthy, I am enough, I am stronger than I think. But why does it leave until I am only an empty shell? Why do I live with so much doubt? I look at you and I feel your pain. It takes my breath away. The day I saw outside in the rain was something that you suggested. As wonderful as it felt to feel the warmth and the wetness on my face, it was maybe another way for me to hide what was really truly going on inside. I would love to do that again. Who knows, maybe next time I'll bring a friend. Maybe you won't be able to see them, but only me. Maybe it will be the one that I love, but hey, maybe it'll only be me. So that's one of the writings that I've written lately. Still living with some things that I'm trying to learn to deal with from childhood on. My first childhood memory is violent, related to alcohol. Grew up always seen but not heard. I learned at a very young age to be afraid of everyone, to not disrespect my elders, and never to talk about not nice, kind things, I guess. My family did what they could and spoiled us when they could. I was molested from a very young age, and when I was 11, I had turned the person in. Today, I am almost 46. So up until recently, I carried the guilt and shame of destroying that person's family, taking away the children's father, the wife's husband. Thought if I just had kept my mouth shut that everything would be okay. And that's a lot of years to carry that. No matter what my parents say, to make me feel okay about what happened, it's still something that had scarred me for life. 11-year-old child should not have to carry that burden, the weight on the shoulders. But one thing I will say is that, at least I was brave enough to tell. Even though up until that point, I didn't think anybody would ever believe me. So I did a lot of moving around growing up. Somewhat easy to make friends, but I was always very shy, uncomfortable. I would never approach anybody, introduce myself, say, hey, you want to go play? You want to go ride bikes? That was never me. I was always quiet and shy. I was probably it was the summer of in between grade 8 and 9. I always felt big, overweight, unattractive. And I became bulimic. I always heard, you have such a pretty face. Just need to lose some weight, So that was the route that I took. Thought it would resolve some of my issues if I was just a little bit smaller. I continued with that summer until I almost passed out in the middle of the road with some of my friends. Black rings around my eyes, and some people saying, oh, you look great, and I was like, yeah, dark circles the whole yards. May have looked a little bit smaller, but that's about it. And high school, that's when boys really started to notice me. Still very shy, quiet, and rather be sitting in the corner by myself. I was fun to be around once I got to know people. Like to have a good time, laugh, and carry on. And I guess a part of me always suffered a bit with depression and anxiety. Because I will say in grade 9 was my first attempt of suicide. I took a handful of pills, went to bed thinking, this was going to fix all. Least did I know. Woke up very angry, looked like death, hallucinating, and walked on to school. I was bullied in junior high, and that created so many insecurities in me. Wondered what was wrong with me. I grew up thinking I was cursed, that nothing but bad things was always going to happen. And back to high school, I did have suicidal thoughts, especially in grade 10 and 11. I was always too chicken, I guess, in a way, to do something violent, so I always resorted to the pills, which still wasn't successful. And then I met a guy. I didn't go to school with him. I married him when I was 23. Thought he was my protector, my savior. He stood up for me when somebody tried to hurt me. We moved in together, and He became very controlling. He was very abusive verbally, mentally, emotionally. I felt like I was stuck. But another part of me thought, well, maybe he loves me that much. And it was okay. I married him anyway, even though there was red flags. But again, I thought being with somebody who I thought loved me and would be able to protect me, it was okay with a little bit of stuff I thought I was going through. But December 30th of 99, things dramatically changed for me. We were in a car accident and we were T-boned. I was in the passenger side and in a truck, and the person went through 2 warning stop signs and a stop sign and T-boned us on my side of the door. My hip broke the strongest part of the door. How I didn't break, I don't know. But nightmares started. Medication was prescribed. Different pills for pain, different pills for inflammation, different pills for the anxiety, the nightmares. And I knew my marriage was doomed that night, because instead of having my husband sit there, hold my hand, waiting for the paramedics, he got out of the truck and was more concerned about pieces of his truck being run over. I had a stranger hold my hand that night with me having a panic attack. So that night, something did die inside of me, and it took a little while. Actually, took over a year, maybe, or 2, to finally say enough is enough. Because not only was there verbal and emotional abuse, things started to turn physical, and I swore I would never live a life like that, and I got out. Not before giving him an ultimatum that either we leave or I leave, because we were living in the family home, his family's home. So needless to say, he wasn't going, and I left. I managed to get my own apartment and ask for help to go to school. But in the meantime, all this time going through pills, and I decided to drink a bottle of rum straight with the pills one night. Absolutely shit-faced. But it helped me to relax and forget about the crap for a while. And then I decided to come off everything, and oh my Jesus, it was the first time I actually felt like I was coming off crack. Cramps, the pains, the shakes, the sweats. It was horrible. So looking back, I guess I always had some kind of escape, some kind of coping mechanism, which wasn't healthy for me. And over time, I met a guy that I worked with, and we were friends. We were both going through a rough patch, going through a separation, and started having suppers together because we both lived alone. And it developed into something beautiful.